Hello everyone, welcome to this series of newspaper analysis. I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to discuss some important news items on this Indian Express newspaper. So there are various important topics which we will discuss today. So let us start with the newspaper discussions. So coming to the newspaper analysis, if we see on page 1, so there are news on that textbook related to textbook, that is NCERT is now changing some text book like in English literature. Earlier, if you have read the in your class 6 or class 10th any literature book of English, then you have seen that the many poems and many story that are starting with the name of some persons of British origin, like Mr. Robert, Mr. Hamilton. So these kinds of name you will see. So now what NCERT is doing, what the government of India is making changes in those NCERT books, that the names now that names will belong to the Indian origin, like Mr. Syam, Mr. Ram, Mrs. Sita. So these kinds of name now you will see in those English literature books. And it has also recommended that what books that the English literature books contain different that poems, different number of poems. So if you are saying that if there are 6 poems in your class 6 or means up to class 10th book, then you will see that the more number of poems are some that outside India origin, that foreign origin. I am not saying that that are not good, that but you should also give us a space, you should also give that inclusion of the literature or our that authors or any that poems who are making the poems in that book also. So now government are including, if they are 6 number of poems, then obviously they will include 3 poems from outside India origin and 3 poems from Indian origin. So it will be a kind of a equality here. So these new changes NCERT is making. So these are that for your awareness I have talked about this thing. But this you can also write in your answers writing, if they are asking about the what the means because see, if they are asking about the colonial rule in India, then obviously you are mentioning about that how freedom fighters have played important role, what different methods we have used, how it has changed our that society, how it has impacted our economy. So different things you are writing in that. If you mention these kinds of points, yes, that's our the mindset and our what the our honorable prime minister often talk about this. If you see his speeches, then you will often see that he is always talking about this colonial mindset, that colonial baggage, what we are carrying. So name also he is that changing, that frequently some institutions names are also being changed. So these kinds of initiatives the government of India is taking. So you can mention these separate points in your mains answer writing also. So for that reason I have that talked about this news. Now, so this was the first news. Now coming to the second news, if you see the in Manipur, that they have they have asked the government to that release the that Prime Minister Awas Yojana, which is a kind of a central sector scheme. So they have asked so to that release those funds of Prime Minister Awas Yojana, and those allocations should be given. So if you come to the Prime Minister Awas Yojana, then it is a central sector, or you can say that it is given by the central government for that house building. So if you come to this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, so it is a credit linked subsidy scheme. or it is under which ministry? That you all know only, MoHUA, that is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So if in short form you can remember it as a MoHUA. So it is a credit linked subsidy scheme, and it provides affordable housing. Affordable housing to whom? Affordable housing to low and moderate income residents across the country. So this point you should remember here. So the newly formed government, they have approved that more 3 crore additional rural and urban households they will be provided. So under this scheme there are two components, that Pradhan Mantri, two components are there, that is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for urban area and Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for rural area or Gramin area, you can say. So there are two components. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for urban, the objective is to provide housing for all in urban areas. So here the beneficiary, if you will see beneficiary means what? लाभार्थी, जिसको यह योजना उपलब्ध कराया जाएगा. So if you see the beneficiary, then here it comes economically weaker sections, low income groups, LIG in short form, middle income groups. So these are the beneficiary here. If you come to this subsidy scheme, then credit linked subsidy will be given, means that the interest that will be charged will be subsidized, or you can say very low interest. If you can afford those interest, that kind of interest you will be given, that credit loan, this community, this income group people will be given. So these kinds of initiatives government is taking. So affordable housings, we have talked about beneficiary led construction. So for construction also government is providing certain initiatives. So for this many slum areas, they are getting developed. So many various schemes are under coming. Sanitation facilities are also, government has linked to this scheme, the sanitation facility, like we are saying Bharatiya Swachh that Abhiyan. Sanitation facilities are also linked. So beneficiary also here they are providing these kinds of urban people. Now if you come to this Gramin, then you will see rural or Gramin, then you will see that they are providing the Pakka house with the basic amenities to all rural families who are homeless or living in Kacha or dilapidated house, means not in a good condition. So Kacha house means like a jhopdi, mitti ka makan. So these are not a Pakka house. In Pakka house, you are using the concrete material. That kind of house is called Pakka house. So if you see the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for Gramins, then they are providing Pakka houses to beneficiary. So here if the beneficiary, if they are identifying the beneficiary, then they are identifying by using the socio-economic and caste census. So beneficiary, if they are identifying, then they are identifying by using the socio-economic caste census, जो कि अभी जो socio-economic caste census जो हुआ है इंडिया, वो 2011 का ही जो caste census, उसी के अनुसार हम लोग बेनिफिशियरी को आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं और फिर उसे दैट हाउसिंग दैट जो आवास योजना है उसे प्रोवाइड किया जाता है. तो सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कास्ट सेंसस दैट 2011, नाउ 2000, that after 10 years what that it is being conducted, that has not been conducted due to this certain pandemic reasons, but yes, government has announced that they will conduct. Let's see when the data is going to release or when they are conducting these things. So I think 24-25 they will release those data. So beneficiary are mainly the socio-economic caste census 2011. Here the financial assistance, if you will see, then the financial assistance are provided. And how much financial assistance, that much detail you should means ignore that much detailing. But if you, for your awareness, that 1.2 lakh in plain area, 1.3 lakh in hilly and difficult area. Constructions are also beneficiary or technical that assistance are provided. and it also converge with other schemes are also under like Swachh Bharat mission, if you see, for toilet construction, and Manrega for wage employment. So these kinds of scheme, because see, if you are building the that government house, the government are providing that incentives for building the houses, then obviously then Manrega workers are being kept there. Manrega workers also do that kind of work, and that the Swachh Bharat missions are also including this measure. If you see that, if you see that, then for toilet construction, so Swachh Bharat mission, Swachh Bharat mission. So these are the differences, not more than that. It is important for your exam. Now coming to the on next page, if you see the on the next page, then nothing is important. In on page third also, nothing is important, but if you see one news is there that uh, of this test that in because the High Court has in Delhi High Court has told that to consider the upper age limit, that how upper age can be calculated. So some tests that is in the news. If you see the UPSC or previous year question, then you will come across these kinds of questions at different test, or you can say different some technology which are in the news. So they are often asking, and they are asking in which that sectors it is being used. So if you come to this I think third news, then you will see one test is there that is known as ossification, bone age ossification test, bone age ossification test. See, you don't have to go into the detail that how this test works. Only in one line you have to remember that this test, it gives the upper age of the victim, that how much age, because in the POXO Act, that is the Protection of Children from Sexual Offence Act 2012, in which it is deciding that yes, the victim who is minor, it is that he or she is minor or not. So that for that determination of that age, that for that this test is being used. So if you come to this so here you can say the age of victim is being determined. Age of victim of under POXO Act, under POXO Act is determined. So this much points, if you remember, then it is okay. Now coming to this so government, that High Court has told that yes, if this test is coming and there is a kind of what test that result comes, that they will consider as a right. But yes, margin they have put that error of margin can be 2 years. 2 years margin can be, so error can be that 2 years error that High Court can consider. Now under this POXO Act, what is the POXO Act? If you come to this POXO Act, this was implemented 2012. This rule has come in 2012. Then if you see this POXO Act, then you will see that this in under this POXO Act, the various means it was also in the news because the Supreme Court and High Court has that means can recommend the government that they should consider the age, that reduction in age because of this means today that adolescent, it is saying that it was the criminalization of adolescent sex. So they are saying that lowering the age of consent for minors, which are currently under the POXO Act, it is covered under the POXO Act. So it is considered POXO Act as the first comprehensive law in the country which is dealing with sexual abuse of children, dealing with sexual abuse of children. It was enacted in 2012 and it is administered by C, it is related to children, so it so obviously it will be administered by Ministry of Women and Child development. So this much point you should remember. So it was intended to protect the children from sexual assault, sexual harassment, and pornographic violations. So and also to establish a special court to deal with such acts. So though in various amendment also this act has the government has strengthened these acts, the penalties, what penalties they have increased, what kind of fines they have increased. So these things you can remember, but for your prelims or for in that in pointed form, this much point you can remember here. So if you see the key provisions, then if you see the key provisions under this act, then key provisions are that these acts are gender neutral. It is not that only the means girl is considered. No, if the child is any or child of any person, means it comes if male or female under the age of 18, so it's a gender neutral, so their case will be considered here. So gender neutral legislation, it is the first point. Second point, if non-reporting is also a crime, that it's not that only that victim will report, because victim is children only, so it's not that victim can report. So if the persons living with that victim, that if they are or any institutions, if they are not reporting that crime, then that persons are also means can get punishment, can be awarded as a punishment. So non-reporting is a crime. Non-reporting is a crime. No time limit. No time limit is there. This means it's not that within 1 year you have to that file the complaint within 2 years. No, no time limit is there. No time limit for reporting abuse. No time limit for reporting abuse. And last most important things is that keeping the victims identity confidential. Keeping victims identity confidential. So these are the things which you can remember, and it covers, yes, 16 to 18 years of the age, below the 18 years also, that below 18 years also. So because it is in the news, because the Supreme Court, High Court, many cases have reached to the Supreme Court or High Court that that there is a consensual relation also, romantic relations also between adolescents, and they are not more than 18 years of age. So they have considered that yes, government can reduce the age limit of this which comes under the POCSO, but that there is many implications of this also. If because the government is now has announced that they are raising the age of marriage for women from 18 to 21, then if you are considering the age limit under POCSO, reducing that age limit, then obviously it will create a conflict kind of situation. It will create a problem for society, what government considers. So let us see what new laws, what kind of amendments it's going to change or it's going to make. So this was the news. Now coming to next page, page number 4. Then if you will see nothing important, it is local news that Delhi only. Now coming to 5th page, you see it is here also nothing is important, because it contains ads only. On 6th also ads are given. On if you come to the 7th page, then you will see that it is given about the air pollution, what the Lancet study has done about the air pollution. So death, the how much deaths are happening due to this air pollution. So Lancet has that studied, it has conducted a survey, it has conducted a research. In that research, Lancet has picked many that metro cities, many metropolitan cities, and they have compared that which cities more number of deaths are happening due to this air pollution. So if you come to this Lancet study, so here we will see about the Lancet study. So I think it's news number 4. On page 7, if you see, then it is coming about the air pollution. See, air pollution is a very important topic from your prelims perspective, also from your mains perspective also, because air pollution topic is in your environment also, in your geography also. In environment, if you will see, then air pollution, different pollutants are given, are being asked also. Previous also 1-2 question, if you will see from PYQ also, that they have asked these air pollutants. So like ozone they are asking, mainly that acid rain they are asking, they are also related to the air pollutants also. So if you have read the environment, if not, then please go and read that chapter air pollution, because that are also very important topics. Here I can't teach you everything about air pollution, because different sources and of air pollutants are there. And if you see, then different like air quality index, like national air ambient quality index, so these kinds of that you can say measurement are there, where different that gases, different pollutants are included. So they contain these kinds of pollutants. So here it is talking about the air pollution, what Lancet has studied, that he has said that on average 12,000 deaths. That is a huge number. If you come to this huge, that 12, that is 11% of the deaths in Delhi, that consists. So it's a huge number. So government has to do something, some new initiatives, so that this can be decreased or minimized. So 12,000 deaths are happening every year, per year in Delhi, due to this, what? Due to air pollution in Delhi. And mainly the responsible for this air pollution, it's not that only one gas, one pollutants are responsible, various pollutants, but mainly if you come to, then PM 2.5 is very much responsible. If WHO has set up limit of that 12 that PM 2. How much limit WHO is? 15 microgram per meter, per cubic meter, this kind of that WHO set up. But India PM 2 is much higher than this, what WHO has set up, this global measurement, this global that you can say that मापदंड जो WHO ने बनाया है, इंडिया उससे बहुत ज़्यादा है अगर PM 2 की बात करें. Now coming to this PM 2.5, what is PM 2.5? So if you will come to this PM 2.5, then it is full form is particulate matter. So if you come to this PM 2.5, then you will see that particle less than 2.5 micrometers in diameter, that particle is called PM 2.5. So it is a very fine particle, and it is believed that it poses the greater risk to the health, because it's so much minute particles. If you compare its size, then it's so much small. Than, see, if you are comparing with your hair, if you take your hair, then that width of human hair, that it is said that approximately 1/30th मतलब 30 गुना, अगर जैसे आप अपना हेयर को अगर देख रहे हैं, उसका 30 गुना छोटा साइज होता है वो हेयर के कंपेयर में आपको PM 2.5 का. तो समझ सकते हैं कितना घातक है ये, मतलब PM 2.5. so that it can easily penetrate into your lungs also, your blood vessels also. So that's why it is considered as a very harmful pollutants comparing to other pollutants, because their sizes are very large. You can, if you are doing certain means what government artificial raining and something, then obviously that pollutants can be decreased. But this PM 2.5, it's not that it can easily be controlled. So 1/30th, that size I am talking about, 1/30th the average width of human hair. So it is that size, you can say what size I am talking. So it can easily penetrate into your lungs and go deeply into the lungs. So obviously kind of respiratory problems you will feel, respiratory problems happen to the people. So obviously respiratory problems happen, then cardiac arrest are the reasons behind it, or you can say that different cardiovascular diseases you get. So people are dying in more number in Delhi compared to other cities. So if Lancet has compared different cities, then mostly the deaths are happening due to air pollution. That is in Delhi, but less number are happening in Simla, because their air pollutants you will not see that much. So these points are that related to this PM 2.5. And it particles, you can't see it with naked eye because its sizes are very small, so it can be only detected with the help of if you want to see, then you can see detected with the help of electron microscope. So huge, you can say that high that intensity microscope, the electron microscope. So this much size of this PM 2 is that. So you are using here the electron microscope. Now when you come to the sources of this PM 2.5, then sources are mainly for combustion, motor vehicles, what combustion activity are happening, motor vehicles, power plants, wood burning, etc. So they are this combustion, you can say incomplete combustion from motor vehicles, combustion from power plants, so etc. These things. Okay, so government is now mainly bringing new initiative for that clean energy, that electric vehicles, so that this can be controlled. So these are the main points which I have talked about this PM 2.5. Now coming to the this on page 7 only, they are simply saying that yes, large gap. If you come to this fifth news, number 5, then on this page only they are saying that large gap to bridge in quantum capabilities report. Means one report has come and say that quantum technology what India is using, so there is a large gap compared to other countries. Like if in news it is comparing with US, China also. See, Asian country in China also they are using more that high graded technology. With comparing to India, where India is lagging behind the use of this quantum technology. So if you come to this quantum technology, then you have must read about this quantum technology in your science and tech chapter, because it is a very important topic nowadays, because today the technological advancement is very much happening at a pace rate, at a fast rate. So obviously UPSC are more tilted towards asking these kinds of question about quantum technology, supercomputer, about how this technology is used, in which sectors this technology are used, in which technology these technologies are used. So these kinds of questions they are asking. So from that perspective, it becomes very important for your PT prelims exams, and also for your mains, when you are writing about the advancement of technology and how the India this technology is playing role in different sectors. So if you will see this quantum technology, then if you will look at the one data of this quantum technology, then you will see that there is a one data about the quantum technology. Then you will see the quantum, it is talking that if you remember, then you can mention this line also. So you will be amazed about this by these things, that quantum computer could solve in just 200 seconds. How much? 200 seconds means approx how much minute it will be. If it's 200 seconds, 60 seconds 1 minute, so you can say 3 minutes 4 minutes. So just 200 seconds a problem, what the quantum computer can solve a problem in just 200 seconds, that would take 10,000 years. So you can compare how much time period it is taking. The supercomputers, we till date we were thinking that supercomputer is a very fast processing. it has a very fast processing. In country also, in world also, we would think that yes, supercomputer, if anyone is using, if any country is using, then it is a highly advanced country and they are using a supercomputer in various fields. But you can imagine that how much comparisons that in just 200 seconds, 2-3 minutes, what we are taking the lecture also, then also it consumes your 50 minutes, 1 hour. But in 200 seconds, only 2-3 minutes, it is solving such problem. Which problem, if you compare with supercomputer, the supercomputer is solving such problem in by taking 10,000 years. That is a huge number. So if you come to this statement, then obviously you can write by in introduction also, if you are writing about the comparison of this quantum technology with quantum technology, then obviously you can write this data. It's not that yes, anywhere you can get this data. So 10,000 years to calculate on a super computer at the time. So these things you can remember. Now if you come to the this quantum technology, then quantum technology are used in various fields. Either you can say that in space technology, we are now scientists are using. In medical fields now you are using. So in different sectors you can use, in machinery, in equipments, in computers. So in different sectors, like because today we are moving we are in that industrial revolution, that is 4.0, that is fourth industrial revolution we are heading. So in this that's the industrial revolution, fourth revolution, we are mainly using ICT, means that is that internet communication technology. We are in an information age. So mainly in every field now technologies are being that used, either any field, and then in political sector, in economic sector, in education sector also. Like today we are using this. Earlier we were mainly dealing with offline classes. Now we are using online classes. So different technology we are using. So technologies are used now in every field. So it becomes very important for any country to acquire this quantum technology, to do this research in this quantum technology. So India is lagging behind. It is saying that among 17 countries, India is coming, but not it has reached to that level, that like what US are working, what other developed countries are working, what that China's are working, Singapore, Thailand, these kinds of countries are working. So it is saying that India has to do some more research and development, some more budget resources India has to invest in that field. So these things we have to remember. And if I go to in detail of this quantum technology, then what things it uses, how like quantum superimpositions are there, quantum entanglement are there. So you might have read in your science tech chapters. So I am not going into that detail. If I started teaching such things, then obviously it will take more time. So quantum, you can in one line you can write its uses here, quantum superimposition. Like how you are using a normal computer, then their binary system they are using either 0 or 1. If 0 is working, then 1 will be off. If 1 is working, 0 will be off. But in quantum entanglement, quantum superposition, it's both are working simultaneously. If one are working, then others are getting affected. So these kinds of things you will see in this quantum technology. So it uses quantum technology, quantum superposition, and quantum. When we will start this series on science tech, if possible, then obviously we will talk about these kinds of things in very detail. Quantum entanglement. So etc. Various more technology they are using. Now if this was all about this quantum technology, now coming to the next page, page number 8. If you come to the next page, then on page 8 no important news are there. They are political news, what in parliaments now it's going, so not so important for your exam perspective. Now coming to the on page 9, here also you will see there is not important news here also. They are political news. Now coming to the editorial page, on page 10, if you will see, there also nothing important, because they are talking about in one, that author is talking about this leak of that paper leaks, how it can be addressed, what transparency government should bring out, what kind of that initiatives, what kind of policy government should bring. So they are talking about this. We have talked it in very detail in our previous that newspaper analysis lecture only. So I think no nothing more that important points are given. Same things they are repeating in some other words, other also, so it's not important. If you come to the page 11, here also not money, not much thing importance, like if you come to the in that parliaments, they are talking security challenges, they are talking, that's not important. But if you come to this rights of the new worker, that given at the bottom of this page number 11, then they are talking about the bills, what the labor laws that different states have framed. So if you come to this sixth number news, so here I am not going to detail because they are in that framing stage only. It has not become an act, but it's related to states only. Though then you should not consider it, because in the government of India has not brought this kind of law for gig workers, what social security they are getting. So these kinds of laws, but different states have brought this law. So first states of this law. So if you will see that the social security for gig workers, social security for gig workers, you know that what the gig workers are, those who are working in Zomato, in different, you can say, platforms, what you see online platforms like Zomato, Swiggy. So these kinds of workers are called gig workers. Obviously they are very much prone to that anytime the employers are, that companies, the platforms are removing from the services, they are terminated with the services without giving any kind of notice. So to deal deal with such issue, the government of different states has brought different laws which are governing with the social security for gig workers. So if you come to the first state, then first stage state which has brought this law, these questions can be asked in your state PCS also, that which state till date has brought this law for gig workers, especially for gig workers. Social security laws are there for industrial workers, for that service workers who are working in the economy, but for especially for gig workers, no separate laws are there, no separate policies any government has made. So if it becomes important, if in answers you can also mention about these states as how they have provided, but they are not actually, it is criticized here, the author has criticized these states that they are not, means they are not talking about the what actual reasons are there for the removing the of the gig workers, what social security said they have provided. So there is a kind of a vagueness in this law. So it's not clear that how that implementation of that law should be there. So Rajasthan has become the first state to come up with this gig law, Rajasthan. So if you come to the Rajasthan, then one is Rajasthan platform based gig workers registration and welfare. So Rajasthan become first state to come with this law. So one Rajasthan, if you come to the Rajasthan, one law is there. It is not Rajasthan platform based gig workers registration and welfare act. Now the second state which has come up with this law, that is Karnataka. So Karnataka platform based gig workers social security and welfare. So it is in a framing stage only, it has not been passed, so it is a bill, yet it is a bill only. So you can remember, yes, those two states have means come up with this bill, no other states have come up with this bill. So it becomes important for your because they are asking, like if you see the PYQ question, then you will see that if any states are fully becoming that new initiatives, like some states are fully becoming operational. Some villages are there in that states, and that are consuming the electricity, and they are fully dependent on electricity 100% on that solar power. So that becomes a news. Like any international airports are there, any airports, like if you see the Surat, if you see the Kochi airport, then they have asked this in prelims exam. So for that purpose, for in that, if you use relevance, it comes in the news when some states bring these kinds of new initiatives or new laws, which the government has also not brought, and in other state has also not brought. So there are different criticisms given here. So this much is only important for, if you can, for your awareness, you can read it. Now coming to the page number 12, here if you will see, then they are talking about the Zika virus, which in Maharashtra case, that Zika virus is happening, that Zika virus infection is increasing. So if you come to this page number 12, then they are talking about the Zika virus. So here if you see about the Zika virus, so let us remember some points, write down here some points, that much can be, it is important. So it's a belong to, that is known as Flaviviridae family. So because they are asking you, like if they are asking TB, then obviously they're different, that bacterial diseases, so they are belonging to tuberculosis. So here also they can ask you from which family it belongs, they will give you certain wrong options also. So you have to make clear that yes, it's belong to this Flaviviridae family. Now it's that Zika virus, this virus is being, that vector who are carrying this vector, that are the mosquito, and not every mosquito. Here it is that especially these vectors are what these vectors means, what you understand by this vector. Vectors means what? Means if see some virus are not spreading certain virus by itself. Virus are there, but vectors are like a carrying matlab virus from one that body to another body, like you can say mosquito is considered as a very that efficient vectors for this virus carrying, like any dengue, Zika virus. So these are the virus, they are not occurring itself in your body, it's being carried by certain vectors, like sand flies you can see, like mosquito. So most that viruses, they are the carrier are mosquito only. So if you come to the vector, so the mosquito, and in mosquito, not every mosquito, here it is a female Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus. So this name, because this name, that Aedes aegypti, you might have read also, and you are knowing about this also, because these are given in your below 10 standard books also, in science books. But this Aedes aegypti, this is a new name, this you might have not read about this name. So remember these points. So these are the Zika virus carrier vector, Aedes aegypti mosquito. Now coming to the what symptoms, you do simply rashes happen on the body, mild fever is there. But one most important, what the symptoms are happening, that in a pregnant woman. So it is called that in pregnant woman, mainly it is affecting the fetus. Fetus means that evolution stage of that child, the baby. So in a pregnant woman, that is important point here, in pregnant woman, that's why it has become a cause of concern. So in pregnant woman, it can lead to microcephaly. So this microcephaly is happening in the fetus. Now what is this microcephaly? So this microcephaly, if you come to this microcephaly, then this microcephaly is a condition where baby's head is smaller than expected because their brain does not develop fully. मस्त जो सिर वाला जो पार्ट होता है, सर वाला पार्ट होता है, that does not becomes fully, you can say that develop fully, that becomes smaller when babies are born. Then you will see certain babies, their heads are very small comparing to their body size. So that's babies are mainly infected from this microcephaly, and this microcephaly, which virus are responsible, that the Zika virus. So you can remember by this kind of questions, they can also frame that they will give you the microcephaly and they will ask which viruses are responsible, which vectors carries this virus. So microcephaly. So if you will see the microcephaly condition, a condition where a baby's head is smaller than expected because their brain does not develop fully. Expected because their brain does not develop fully. Does not develop fully. So I think my writing is visible clearly because I am not using this kind of that cursive, more cursive writing. So if you will listen carefully, then obviously you can comprehend this handwriting. Now, so this is all thing that about that Zika virus. Now coming to the next page, page number 13. Here also nothing important news about this. Now if you come to the page number 14 about in world page, also there is also nothing important. Page number 15 you come, then there are also nothing important in economy. It has said that a coup, which in 2000 you have seen that they have started in that competition with that Twitter, that now company is saying that they will shut down this coup, which government has also that you can say that promoted this app, but it has not that succeeded in India. So this in 15. Now coming to the 16th number of page, and this is the last of this you can say that series analysis, because on page 17, 18, 19, 20, 20 and 20 nothing is important. So coming to this page 16, if you see the explain part, then it is talking about various things about, you can say that it is also talking about the UK's what the labor law of UK's, and what you can see that the UK's that Labour Party, now elections is going on UK. So if you come to this so it is UK is in the news. Why it is in the news, that I am I will tell you. But first of all, let us see about the India UK FTA. India UK FTA. If you come to this India UK, that is free trade agreement. So India, this negotiations is happening from 2 years, free trade agreement, and in these negotiations the agreement would mainly result for the mutual tariff relaxations. So if you can say that here will be the mutual tariff relaxations on a range of goods and services. On range of goods and services. In goods, many things included like medical services, cars, clothes, alcoholic beverages. So different items will be there. So it's in the that framing stage only. It's in the progress stage only. So it's in negotiation only from 2 years it is. So it is the news because in UK elections is happening, where you can say the Sunak, the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who is that PM of that UK. He is mainly coming from this Conservative Party, and the elections are happening with and there are two party systems in, you can say, in UK, that is Labour Party and this Conservative Party. So today what the government is there in that UK, that is comes from that, who is the Rishi Sunak, that Rishi Sunak comes from this Conservative Party. So that's why this UK that FTA was in the news. Now if you come to the from mosquito chapter only, what mosquito Zika virus I have discussed earlier. So from that news only, this that mosquito, it is saying that hormones of that mosquito, that plays a very important role for deciding the mosquito for attracting that for attracting to the hosts, like they are going to suck the blood from the one host, and from that blood only they are releasing their eggs only. They are that fertility also increases of that mosquito. So here the scientists have discovered a new kind of that they have researched that there are two kind of that hormones in the mosquito that are working, which they have called about the, let us write first of all the mosquitoes. So if you that come to the hormone, then first hormone they have talked about the which are present in the mosquito gut, that is called FNPF. So this is a hormone name. So it is present in you don't have to go into detail because nothing important in this, only you can remember this is a kind of a hormone which is present in mosquito gut. In science text they are not going into much detail, what news are coming in the newspapers, from there only they are asked, not you have to go into and you have to do PhD in that things. So present in mosquito gut. And one more hormone is there, that hormone is called rymide. Rymide. Some different pronunciations can be there, but what I feel, so if I am correct, then it's rymide. So this is also a gut hormone of mosquito. So this much things if you remember here. So it is saying that one hormone is when creating a stimulation, and other hormone is suppressing the mosquito attraction to the human and other hosts. So these kinds of things you can learn from here. And the scientists are also saying the mosquito are the deadliest animal on the planets, because mosquito is killing overall the globally 7 lakh people in the world. You can imagine how much number of people are 7 lakh people due to mosquito, this vectors of mosquito only, because they are carrying the dengue virus, West Nile virus, yellow fever, Zika virus. So if you consider the mosquito, what virus they are carrying, so the virus they are carrying, so vectors for carrying Zika virus, what I have talked about, which if you saw chikungunya, and now monsoon season has also started. So be prepared for, and be kind of uh, create don't that keep the water stagnant in your surrounding region, because it that the in that only the what the eggs that fertilization happens in mosquito, and from that only what larva they fertilize in that stagnant water, and from there only that this dengue virus develops. So Zika virus, chikungunya. So so prevent yourself in this you can say monsoon season. So Zika virus, chikungunya, lymphatic fever, that is lymphatic filariasis. So different viruses are there, West Nile virus. So mainly these are happening in that tropical countries, etc. But nowadays scientists are seeing that virus, these mosquitoes are getting very much that immune to the cold climate also. Their numbers are growing. So now due to the climate change also, they are that till date we are in colder region, they were immune from this virus. They were not getting, because the mosquitoes were not growing. So now that country has also been affected by these kinds of virus due to the mosquito that increase in the mosquito number. So you can see these points also. So climate change is you can say increasing this thing. So climate change responsible for increment in this viral disease. So this was the thing important for this news. Now last but not least, here one news is, it's for your information if you remember. See, one that Franz Kafka, if I'm pronouncing it correct, Franz Kafka, it is there, Franz Kafka, Franz, Franz Kafka. So if you see that it is talking about the Franz Kafka. So he was born in Prague in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So he has talked about that his story. He has mainly written the story, the poems, where he has talked about the bureaucracy, how bureaucracy are means doing their duties, how the informalizations are there, how formalizations, how the rules bound societies are there. So he has criticized those kinds of things, like how bureaucracy have these kinds of things, like in they are dealing with forms, permits, signatures, contracts, which are only protecting the procedure, means they are protecting the bureaucrats only, not the people. Because what the policy you are implementing, that policy are not getting implemented, but what procedures you are following, but implementation work you are not doing. So that kinds of you can say that criticism, when you are asking for bureaucracy, you can write his name, criticisms. Because many authors, many that you can say that authors are have inspired from this Franz Kafka, like Salman Rushdie, name you have seen news also, Margaret Atwood, Garcia Marquez. So it becomes very important for you, not for your prelims, but in mains you can write these kinds of, when they are talking about the implementations of any policy. So criticisms for bureaucracy rule based society. So this point you can remember here. So he has also talked about this after World War One. What he has that must some sign that you can say that some writer have written about that after World War One, what the science has developed, they have failed to they have failed what promise they have done to the to that increase the life of mankind, or you can say that they can make the life better for mankind, that they have failed the science what after World War One. So many things you can read for your awareness also here. So this was the things at the last. It is also saying that the if you have the knowledge of history and science and without any wisdom, like if you are science, what you have developed the nuclear technology for energy, but if you are not the wisdom, then you are using that nuclear technology in making the mass deadly weapons. So then obviously you are creating a havoc in the society, that the grave consequences can occur in the society. So they are saying if you have knowledge, you have scientific knowledge, but you are not using it as a wisdom, then obviously you are creating a problem in the society. So these things you can write here in your mains answer. You can read it for your awareness also. So this was overall news items on this Indian Express newspaper. So obviously I have discussed it very clearly, what different for basically many news are for prelims only, what I have discussed here. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.